Rajesh Kumar sat in his 2003 Honda Civic in the parking lot of a Walmart in Edison, New Jersey, staring at a collections letter demanding $43,000. It was February 2016. Outside, the temperature was 11 degrees. He'd been sleeping in that car for 6 nights. His phone had 3% battery left, and he had exactly $12 in his checking account. 5 years earlier, he'd stepped off a plane at JFK with $200, a mechanical engineering degree from Mumbai, and a dream his father had died believing in. Now, at 32 years old, he was technically homeless, drowning in debt, and questioning every choice that brought him here. Rajesh arrived in the United States in January 2011 on an H-1B visa, sponsored by a mid-sized manufacturing firm in New Jersey. His father, a taxi driver in Mumbai, had sold their family's only piece of land, a small plot worth approximately $8,000, to help fund Rajesh's master's degree in the U.S. 2 years prior. "You will lift our family," his father had told him the night before he left. Those were among the last words he'd speak. 3 months after Rajesh landed his engineering job, his father suffered a massive heart attack and died at 56. Rajesh sent every spare dollar back to Mumbai, to his mother, to his younger sister still in university. He lived in a basement apartment in Newark that cost $650 a month, splitting it with 2 other immigrants. He ate rice and lentils he cooked in bulk every Sunday. His salary was $61,000 a year. After taxes, rent, and the money he sent home, he had almost nothing left. But he was building something. He was honoring his father's sacrifice. Then in March 2014, the manufacturing plant announced layoffs. Rajesh's entire department was eliminated. On an H-1B visa, he had 60 days to find new sponsorship or leave the country. He couldn't go back. His sister's education depended on him. His mother's rent depended on him. Panic became his constant companion. Rajesh found a smaller company willing to sponsor him, but they could only offer $47,000. He took it immediately. The new job was in Philadelphia, an hour and 20-minute commute each way. Gas alone cost him $320 a month. But leaving wasn't an option. His visa was tied to this employer. He was trapped. To make up the income gap, Rajesh started tutoring engineering students at night through a local community college. He'd finish work at 6, tutor from 7 to 10, then drive home and collapse near midnight. On weekends, he worked at a liquor store for $10 an hour, cash under the table. He was working 90-hour weeks. His body began breaking down. He developed chronic migraines. His back pain became so severe, he could barely sit. In June 2015, his mother called. His sister needed surgery, an ovarian cyst that had become infected. The cost was $4,200, and they needed it within 2 weeks. Rajesh didn't have it. His credit cards were already carrying $8,000 in balances from previous family emergencies. He applied for a personal loan and was rejected. Desperate, he went to a high-interest lender that catered to immigrants. They gave him $5,000 at 23% APR. He sent the money home. His sister got the surgery. But now Rajesh was drowning. The loan payments were $380 a month. His credit card minimums were $290. He was bringing home roughly $2,800 after taxes, and between rent, food, gas, money for his mother, and now these debt payments, he was $200 short every single month. He started borrowing from one credit card to pay another. Then he took out another personal loan to consolidate, but the debt kept growing. By December 2015, he owed $31,000 across 4 credit cards and 2 personal loans. The minimum payments alone were $970 a month. Then in January 2016, the Philadelphia company lost a major contract. They let Rajesh go with 2 weeks severance. This time, no one was hiring. His visa status became precarious. He couldn't afford his rent. After missing 2 payments, his roommates asked him to leave. On February 3, 2016, Rajesh loaded everything he owned into his Honda Civic. That night, he parked behind a 24-hour gym where he had a membership so he could shower. The debt, with accumulating interest and late fees, had climbed to $43,000. He applied to 73 jobs in 3 weeks. Nothing. The collection call started. His credit score plummeted to 510. He would sit in library parking lots using their Wi-Fi, sending out resumes, his stomach hollow with hunger, because he was rationing a box of granola bars. On the 8th night in his car, Rajesh sat in a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot at 2 in the morning, unable to sleep. He opened his laptop and started browsing engineering forums, just to feel connected to something. He stumbled onto a thread where someone was desperately looking for help with a specialized CAD design for a medical device component. They'd been quoted $8,000 by firms and couldn't afford it. Rajesh read the specifications. It was complex, but it was exactly the kind of work he'd done for years. On impulse, he created an account that night and messaged the person. "I can do this for $1,200. 5 days." The person responded within an hour. "Can you start tomorrow?" Rajesh worked on that project from the front seat of his car, his laptop balanced on the steering wheel, charging it at the library, at cafes, anywhere he could. He delivered it in 4 days. The client was stunned. They paid him immediately and referred him to 2 other people. Something clicked. Rajesh realized companies didn't care where he worked from or what his visa status was for contract work. They cared about results. He created a proper profile, undercutting big firms on price while delivering faster. Within 3 weeks, he had 5 clients. Within 2 months, he was making $6,000 a month. He moved out of his car and into a $500 room in a shared house. He started paying down his debt aggressively, $2,000 a month. But more importantly, he started seeing a pattern. These small manufacturers and medical device startups all had the same problem. They couldn't afford the big engineering firms, but they needed high-quality precision work. There was a massive gap in the market. In August 2016, Rajesh registered an LLC, Precision Component Design. He hired 2 other immigrant engineers he knew who were struggling with visa issues and inconsistent work. He paid them well. They operated entirely remotely. By December, they had 14 clients and had done $87,000 in revenue. Today, Rajesh is 39 years old. Precision Component Design operates out of a 4,000 square foot office in Princeton, New Jersey. The company employs 23 people, engineers, project managers, sales staff. Last year, they did $2.3 million in revenue. They specialize in rapid turnaround precision engineering for medical and aerospace startups. Rajesh paid off his last dollar of debt in November 2018, $43,000 eliminated in 31 months. His credit score is now 791. He bought his mother a 2-bedroom apartment in Mumbai, fully paid. His sister finished her degree and now works as a pediatric surgeon. He drives a Tesla Model 3, though he kept the 2003 Honda Civic. It sits in his garage, a reminder. Some mornings, before anyone else arrives at the office, he sits in it for a few minutes. His company now offers visa sponsorship and above-market salaries specifically to immigrant engineers. "I know what it's like," he tells new hires, "to have your worth questioned because of where you were born." Rajesh never forgets the parking lot, the collection letters, the granola bars. Because that cold night, sitting in that Dunkin' Donuts parking lot at 2 in the morning, wasn't the end of his story. It was the moment desperation forced innovation, and innovation built empire. If Rajesh's story moved you, hit that like button. Subscribe to Debt-Free Stories for more real journeys from rock bottom to financial freedom. Drop a comment telling us, what's one skill you have that could become your turning point? Share this video with someone who needs to hear that their lowest moment might be preparing them for their greatest comeback. New story every week. See you in the next one.